So good evening, everyone. So it's like today is day 50, and we will be uh, looking into the main what is Canvas widget and how to insert any image into our Tkinter app, and we will be coding a Pomodoro GUI app. So at the end, what exactly we will be doing? Let's see. So so this is the app we will be coding. So when we click the start. So it's like the countdown kind of stuff. Like for every 25 minutes, we will get one thing like 5 minutes break, and then it will again start. And for every 2 hours, it will again like for every 4 hours, it will say take a long break. So that's the concept. So it is by default available in markets in app as well. So when we click reset, it will go back to the main. Uh, the main window. So before that, what exactly the canvas is, we will be looking at. So it's like canvas is nothing but uh, on the window, whatever we creating, we can create another widget, a canvas, and then in that widget, it's something like a rectangle shape. So if you keep a paper on one paper, and if you are keeping another paper on the same large paper, with different size, and you can write something right on the small paper. So similar kind of stuff. So we can keep multiple things on the small paper. So the same thing, the window won't change, but here the canvas widget is like the small paper we are keeping, and on the small paper we can write multiple things on the paper. So for example, we can draw line graphical elements, and we can plot graphs. So for any UI based games also, we can use this canvas widget, and for interactive interfaces, so to change the colors, something like that, we can do this. So here what exactly is the key points, like where we need to keep the canvas, so where the what are the events, something like that, we need to be careful. So let's see with the example demo. So here generally we are importing a tkinter as tk, and then we are creating a window. So here we are creating instead of a root, we can create any name. So we are creating a root object from the tkinter tk class, and we are giving that as a demo. So so now this is the canvas object what we are creating. We are creating a canvas object with height 400 pixels, like, and width 400 pixels, height 300 pixels. So for example, so let's comment this out. Sorry. So when we run this, okay, so I have commented my loop also. So now if you see, there is one canvas, so like 400 by 300 pixels. From this window, we have created one canvas object. So on this, we will be doing all the stuff like implementing, drawing a line, or inserting a image, or we can insert a graph on this. So it is very helpful to maintain. Yesterday, what we have discussed, something like frames, right? So it's like this is one canvas and this is one canvas. Similarly, this is another canvas. Like four canvases are there. So similar kind of stuff we are doing here. I'll just I closed it. So now I'm commenting this. So now these are multiple. Once we create a object using canvas class, so we are creating, we are just giving in the window and we are using pack as a layout manager. Yeah. Just to check. So here we are creating a line. So how much it will, like how much length, width, and how much it will be going. So it is positional arguments. We can just check for the documentation. So generally canvas and this so create. So there are multiple things. Create type, what exactly a create line. So this is the official documentation, but it is not well documented. But generally we can just into such uh, dig further. But generally for us, for demo purpose, just we are saying fill is like the color, uh, which color it should draw, and here it's like rectangle. How much how much size it should be, like it's like up to 50 by 80 pixels, and where we need to place like 250 by 300. So similarly, if you want to draw oval shape and where we will be placing, so and if you carefully observe, we are placing inside this area, like width into height area. So all the coordinates we are giving 360, 390 by 350 and all that. So and this is this text is like hello canvas, and again so these are all is one type of thing, but when you want image, so this is the main thing we need to check. So in the image we can't give directly the path of the image what we have. So if we given this thing, this won't work. So this is like we need to create another object using photo image class, and then we need to define give the keyword argument file equal to the path of the image where we have. So we have the PNG image already, or just I have given this path. So if I just open this PNG file, it's taking time. So yeah, so just I'm inserting that. So when I run now, so everything, sorry, I haven't saved it. So now I open, so everything is under canvas. So because we have given where we have to place that. So it's like here canvas, the rectangle, and we have kept something, and oval, and we have given this uh, image. So now again, if I change it to something like 100 to 150, so my image will change. My image position will change. So it has come to here. So it's like, so if we take for example canvas, so it's like this one. So it is keeping this image at x axis 100 pixels, and y axis this thing. Generally this image, what is the size of this image? We just the properties. So details. So yeah, 200 by 223 pixels. So depending on this, actually we will be coding. So how exactly where to keep our image, and if it is at center point, if we need to keep that center, we will be doing that the going forward. So this is the canvas. So using the concepts from yesterday, like buttons and functions, how to give the functions. So we will be doing today that project, the Pomodoro project. So it is nothing but the explanation here. We will import a Tkinter module and we will creating main window and we will creating canvas and we will be drawing a shapes. We will be starting the Tkinter. And the main loop actually what main loop is does is like it will continue running until unless user clicks. But users, for example, user click on the button. So mm, something should listen, right? The event should be listened. So the main loop will be doing that stuff. So whatever we have used in listen in the turtle graphics, the listen method. So similar kind of stuff the main loop will be doing. So it will for every 1 millisecond it will actually run to check whether any events are ongoing on the UI or not. So if there is any event, it will capture and it will pass that. So that's why we need to run the main loop in the GUI. Now let's go to our Pomodoro GUI application. So here application, the Pomodoro application is a timer app. It's a digital tool you can say. So you can Pomodoro technique is nothing but for every 25 minutes we should take a short break of 5 minutes, and similarly for every 4 hours I think we should take a long break of 20 minutes, so that it will be very useful. So this is a technique to increase focus and reduce procrastination, to like I want to say, to not get disturbed, and same thing like to improve productivity and to reduce stress. So already we have multiple apps on App Store or Play Store. So for example, if we just check this, so this is one of the app, the Forest app. So the similar kind of stuff. So it's like they have different kind of stuffs, like so how much time you are on the Pomodoro, so it will give us the rewards. So instead of, if you don't want, so we will building similar kind of stuff in our Python, using Python Tkinter module, and it's a desktop app, Windows app. So now generally, so if we see the code, there will be mainly 4 steps. Like first we need to set up the EUI, and then we will do the how the counter mechanism will works, how the timer mechanism, how the timer reset mechanism works. So these are just high level things like constant sections. Use the in our canvas. Check the UI setup. So this is the UI setup. I want to say. So it's like this the grid model we are saying. So if you see the grid, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 rows and 1, 2, 3 columns. So we should be placing this timer is nothing but the label, and this is the image. Maybe you can say it as a canvas, and the image will be placed at uh, maybe if it is not from starting from 0, 0, 1, so it's like 1 comma 2, or yeah, we will check. So if it's starting at the 0, like yeah, starts from 0 index. So yeah, these are the things. So let us go one by one. Uh, so I am just commenting all this. Now these are actually already defined constants. So here what exactly we are using is like the colors what we will be using, and the colors what we will be using will be getting from this colorhunt.co. It is actually a professional color palette for designing GUI apps. So we can get exactly the hexacodes uh, from all that. So we will be using, because we are using tomato red color. So actually we will be using what exactly is something shades of tomato we will be using. So where it should, I forgot where I saved it. Yeah, I think not exactly this. Yeah, yeah, we will be using this. Uh, so F6 FTC3. Not so similar kind of stuff. So I'm not exactly sure. So somewhere we have got, I forgot that again. Yeah, anyways, this is already defined. So generally, to verify that, uh, we will be using this hexa codes. So you can implement your own design. So all the palettes is defining. Sure, it is not. Okay. Anyways, let's go back. So so these are the colors where we are just defining the yellow shade, green shade, and the pink shade. The font name, what exactly we will be using. So how many minutes we are defining by default it will be 25 minutes, and after 25 minutes we should take short break of 5 minutes, and after a certain amount of time, after 4 hours, we need to take uh, 20 minutes large. So these are the repetitions, like we will go one by one. So yeah. So now first we will do the setup. So for example, so if you see here, we are using a window. So as of now, you can give root also, because we are not creating tk.tk. Why? Because we are implement using this notation. From tkinter we are importing star. So like we are importing everything. So you don't need to give us tk. But if you import like this, import tkinter as tk, then you need to refer every class with this notation, dot notation. So instead of that, you can just give this tk class, and then we are giving Pomodoro uh, app name. You can just giving Pomodoro, and it's like the size, we can say the paddings uh, to give. So and the background color is like what are we defining. So if we don't give the background color, so just I'm just adding and saving how exactly it will look. Let's see. I am at this location, so that's why I'm not giving the full path. Uh, okay. So because here the commands I need to So because it is saying the command is like the function what we define, it is not there, that's why it is failing. So I will keep it later. What? Wait, there is a time. So here, what exactly the window? If you see the window, it is by default it will be in gray color. Uh, so if we want to change our background, we will be doing the same thing. So this is our now. So the same thing. So we are defining a label, and in the label we are giving what need to be displayed, the timer in the foreground color, like whatever the font color you can say. We are just giving green, and the background color should be the same because it should be uniform across all the canvas and the window. And then we are just giving font name. So again, font name is Courier. So you can change font names as you like Times Roman. There will be multiple font names, and we are just defining how much width is there. And then this is like, for example, let's the canvas as of now what we seen the same thing. So because why we have taken 200 by 224, uh, we want to insert the total image uh, inside this canvas. So that's why we want. So we have seen the details, right? So how much pixels it is there. So we will be giving that 223 is odd number. Just we have increased one thing, 224. And then if you see this, I will talk just. We background color again we will be giving the yellow, and the same thing what we have used like photo image, and then we are creating image inside the canvas. So this is one thing to remember. We should not give directly the tomato like our image to that. And the same thing, the create text is again on the canvas. If you want to create a text on the canvas, so we have seen already we have created this hello canvas, similar kind of stuff we will be doing. So it's like for starting we are just displaying 0 comma 0, and we are displaying it as bold, and the font size, the font name, and we are keeping this in a grid. So label, if you see carefully observe first row and the second column. So because the indexes will start from 0, so the label will be keeping at 0 comma 1, the similar kind of stuff. So it's like 2 by 2, so it's like the column will be 1 and row will be 1. So it's like at second row and second column we will be keeping our canvas. Inside the canvas only we will be creating the similar kind of stuff for buttons, all this. So if I just remove this highlight thickness equal to 0, what exactly it will do is, let's see. So if we carefully observe, so it's there is some border line it is getting. So I can't zoom in, but so there is a little bit border line if you carefully observe. So that uh, if we don't give highlight thickness equal to 0, this will appear. So we don't want this borderline to appear, so that this thing will do that border should not be appear, and this is not straightforward in the Tkinter documentation as we mentioned. Uh, this is actually a little bit googling and a lot of Stack Overflow things. After a lot of Stack Overflows, we got this parameter like keyword argument to pass. So then only we will be seeing, if you see there is no thickness of the canvas, so that it is like everything is same. So now the way we placed that we created a canvas and we want to place it exactly at the center. That's why we divided it by 2, like width and height by 2, and we placed that at that point. And similarly, just this is again a trial and error method. The x-axis again it should be at center, the width center, and height is like we can just define little bit up and little bit down. We can, this is again the same trial and error method thing, so you can change according to your customizations. So so again, if you see, let's so we have placed it at 0 1, our label, and again the same thing, we have placed our canvas at 1 comma 1. So it's like this is 1 and 0 1 2 3 4. So similarly 0 1 2. So we have placed at 1 comma 1. Similarly, we have placed our buttons also. The buttons also the same thing, because the highlight we have used. Otherwise, we will get a border around the buttons also. So to negate that, we have placed that at first column and the third, like like 0 1 2. So similar kind of the reset button we have placed at the same thing. And here this is nothing but after every iteration. So we have seen the forest step, after every 25 minutes our tree grows. So similar kind of stuff. So after every 25 minutes we will get one tick mark to be added. Uh, just to do that, we are actually placing the tick marks, how many hours it is completed. We will be just placing that at this one tick mark. So to identify how many iterations it got completed. So for that we are just keeping a check marks. So the same thing. So now because we haven't given any function, it is not just this the UI, just the timer. So the label, the canvas, and the background of the canvas and background of the window, and then the image, and on the top of the image we are actually displaying 0 0. Now our next step is to implement the functionality of all this. Like when we click on start, it should actually do the countdown. It should start at 25 minutes, and when we click on reset, it should actually go back to 0 comma 0. And after every 25 minutes, this timer should change to, like when we start, it should change to work, and after 25 minutes, it should change to break. Uh, and it should do the 25 minutes. So now just closing this. So the next part is like just we will be implementing this. So now we are creating one function like countdown function. So what exactly we are doing is like, so the count minimum function. So I think we need to, so this is like how much the parameter. So whenever we call this function, we will be passing this function argument. Uh, so that, so for example, the count is like 25 minutes. So it's like the 25 minutes are divided by so for minutes to display, so we will be doing 360 by 60. So for example, if you take I mean to say 25 minutes or just 5 minutes. So we will be doing 5 minutes is like 360 seconds. So 365 60, it's like 5 minutes. And then to display this seconds, we are again doing the same thing. Like 360 by divided by 60, it's like we are taking the remainder instead of a percentage is the remainder. So how many seconds are remaining kind of stuff. So it's like 349 divided by 60. It will ha have something like 59 seconds, something like that remainder is there, right? So that's what we are actually dividing. So it's like a simple mathematics. So just we the why we have used floor is like every time it is not like 5 is every time it should be uh, integer value. It can be float value also, but we if it is like 1 divided by 60 and it is like 3.3, if you divided 345 divided by 60, it's something like it will go for 5 times or 4 times 4 minutes like but we don't need 4 point something something to be rounded off uh, rounded off to above number, but we just want only the integer value whatever it is in the left side of the decimal. So we have already used this function. If not, you can just refer to the math documentation. So it will do the same thing. And whenever it's again the same thing like whenever we 360 by 3450 by 60 is like the reminders of 50 seconds or how much seconds. So because the 60 so if we divide 340 or 300 by 60 is 0 exactly, but if we divide it by 359 by for example 299 divided by 60, it will give us a reminder as 59. So it's like 59 seconds are remaining. So and then this is like to display at because we want to display at 0 comma 0. So if the counting seconds is less than 60, for example, if 10 divided by 60, uh, uh, it is the remainder it will be 60 0 times. So the remainder will be 10 seconds. Or it's like if 9 divided by 60, the remainder will be 9 only. But if you don't give this formatting, uh, it will actually doing uh, without just it will come 0 5 and it will be uh, I meant to say seconds like 9 seconds instead of 0 9 seconds it will be just it will again our display will change. So similarly, so we are actually defining the timer text. Uh, so if you see this, the timer text on the canvas, so we are actually configuring the item config, the timer text. On the text, it will change whenever we call this function. Now, if the count is greater than 0, so it's like whenever our count is greater than 0, so it's like greater than maybe 1 second or 1 minute, whatever we will be giving. So then it is actually getting the timer. Uh, so we are actually defining to it as none. So if we carefully observe, we are actually defining global so that this can be accessed in other uh, I want to say in other functions also. So, and this is the one thing mainly to implement. So it's after so we cannot implement in GUI the while function while we having main loop. Uh, this can be written as while I equal to some 5 and we can just decrement I minus minus while I less than or equal to 5. Something like that we can do, but if we do that, our program won't work because there's a limitation because here already one of the infinite while loop is running and it will check all for that all the uh, I meant to say all the mm, like uh, like screen mechanisms or screen events. So it will be checking for every 1 millisecond. So it's like the windows after again the similar kind of stuff. So how after how many milliseconds the function should call, and then what is the iterator like what is the iterator count? So it's like for every milliseconds, like for every 1 second, we are calling our function, this function, and we are actually decrementing the count. So for example, if we give count equal to 60, so uh, uh, yeah, 60 minutes, or maybe for example, it can be 1 minute, or maybe if we give 5 minutes, also something it will do the similar kind of stuff. Like we need to give it in seconds. So 5 minutes is a 360 seconds, and it will do the all the calculations for every 1 second. Uh, it will call the function, this function, and it will actually decrement the count also. Like for example, 360, uh, and then 359. Similar kind of stuff it will be doing for every 1 second. So else, if it is after all the 5 minutes, what it will be doing? So here the condition after 5 minutes, because our count will goes to 0, less than 0. Like if it is go to negative, because here the increment we are doing for the count. If after five minutes, if it is going to uh, 0, then we are actually calling the start timer function. Comment. So because it is everything is linking, that's why we are not uh, trying to link it. So what exactly we are doing? So now here the marks is like it is empty. So so that's why we haven't seen any tick mark at the starting because we are not defining anything. So we are not giving any text there. So let's come back to this after the start timer. So the start timer function, what it will be doing, it will start the repetition. So when we start the our timer, it will start at 0. The repetition, the constant is 0, and we are actually incrementing that to 1 at the starting. So the first iteration, at the first iteration, what it will be doing, the work seconds, like we are actually calculating the work seconds into 60 short minutes long break because all the constants we are defining. So if the repetitions divided by 8, so it's like after 8 repetitions, uh, so it's like I think 2 hours because so for every half an hour we this repetition will increase. So because if you see the first repetition here, it's divided by 8, it is not equal to 0, and divided by 2 it is not equal to 0, like remainder is not equal to 0, the modulus operator. And then it will call this function countdown work section function. So countdown work section is like whatever the minutes we are defining, it will be into 60, and we are passing that. So for example, we are giving just 1 minute. Let's see. So we are defining how many work seconds. So it is like 60 work seconds, and then we are actually configuring the label to text.work, and after one thing, it will call the start timer function again. But at that time, what it happens, the uh, the repetition, right? The repetitions it will be increased to 2. So then it will again check all this, and then again it will check if repetitions modulus 2 is 0, then it will go into short break, and it is like 5 minutes we define, and again it come back after 5 minutes, again it will go to the start timer function, and at the third repetition it's again 25 minutes countdown because as of now it's 1 minute countdown. So again at fourth repetition again it will go to the short break. So at that time 1 hour completed, and the similar kind of stuff it will happen again for every two hours, like uh, for every fifth repetition it again goes to this countdown, like work seconds countdown, and again sixth repetition it again goes to short break, seventh repetition 1 seconds, but eighth repetition it will go to the long break. So now just we are defining a reset is nothing but again this is straightforward. So it is again the timer equal to none. So when we call this reset timer, it what it will do, it will call the after cancel function. So it's like after cancel is like it will clear uh, this thing whatever we are calling the after function. It will be cleared to 0. So the timer again, the timer everything will be set back to 0 0. Now we are changing the timer text again to back to 0 0, and we are actually config text equal to timer. So I just we are when we click on reset button, what exactly we need to do? We need to go back to the main thing. So again, at that time, we our text is should not be any there should not be any check boxes, and then we are actually keeping the repressions to again to 0 whenever we reset it our Pomodoro app. So this checkbox is like whenever for every repetition. Uh, so it's like I want to say like a 2 by 2, uh, like for every one short break and one work section. So our work section will be completed, and it will be 1 second. So at that time, what we are doing uh, for just in range of work sections. So for example, it's like for the first work section, it will be only one. So for in range of one, it will be only we will be having one session. But uh, again, it's 3 divided by 2. Again, it will be 1 only. So at that time also, but at the fourth repetition, we will have two tick marks. So let's see by changing this short break also to 1 minute. So let's verify what exactly how it is going. So let me start. Oh, okay, sorry. So the main thing I forgot is the thing whenever we click on this. So the command what to trigger on the button, that should be called. So whenever we click on the start button, we will be calling the start primer function. So this will be called, and here we have used global keyword so that it the this one all the reps like repetitions variable can be used even inside the different functions. Like generally we have already seen what is the global scope and local scope of the variables. So generally if we don't define, we can't use the same variable in different functions. So for example this one. So yeah, our app is ready. So I have given only 1 minute for now. So if you check, so it is the first at first it got timer. Now it went back to work. Uh, so so we are actually defining the label to change whenever it come to this condition. Work condition, it goes to work section, and the next iteration it will take goes back to short break section. So Even for long break also we have given only a break. You can just define long break, short break, something like that. So now if you see our color changed, the session changed to break, and now we got one uh, uh, tick here. So let's see, let's check for another 2 minutes also. So what exactly it is doing, and because we are just keeping in the loop, so our tick mark should increase by 2. So it's like one loop is completed, one repetition is completed. As of now, we have kept it for only 1 minute work and 1 minute break. So what our Pomodoro app, mainly it is like 25 minutes work and 5 minutes break. So just for our understanding purpose, what exactly we are doing. So the start, and this the tick marks will check how many hours you have worked, like how many half an hours you have worked. Uh, Now it go on to fourth repetition of break. So that's why we have got two tick marks. So similarly, so to count that, how many sessions you have worked? So the same thing. So if we click reset, and it will go to the main timer. So if you change back 25 and 5, this is the standard mode of Pomodoro. Like, so now when I click start, it will start at 25. So it's like we should be focusing for the focus thing, like it's a countdown timer, as I said. Uh, so if you want to focus, this is one of the application. You can just run it. So this is like Python. In Python you can run, but the same application you can just package into an exe file, and then you just click on that exe file. It will open this. uh, and you can circulate to anyone, so you don't need to do any installation, Python installation also. That is, tomorrow we will see how we can do that using PyInstaller. That is one of the packaging of Python applications, mainly GUI applications, uh, to distribute to the users. Okay, so thank you. Maybe you can change colors according to your requirements, and we can do some stuff like even errors, or sometimes if you there is a one error here. Like if we start and if we again click on the start, it will be calling two at a same time. So that's a little bit complicated. So that we need to handle. How we can handle, we'll see. That's one of the bug I have identified. Uh, yeah, we can disable this button whenever start, and when only we click on reset, again the start button will be started. Yeah, that's one of the thing we can do. Yeah, I think That's it. Yeah, that's it for today.